Welcome to another edition of One Way, where we go one way towards the west. As you can see, we're at 145.44, or about 70 miles. Anyway, first things first as we go. This is done on a phone, so you might hear, my hand rubbing against the case of the phone. You might hear the sound get muffled because the speaker grill combo is not in the best of spots. And of course, jerky animation. And this is probably going to be a very long one because supposedly there's going to be several days of rain, so I'm recording in my quote-unquote recording studio at work, which is a utility closet, which is why you hear an echo. So without that being said, we are once again trying to see how far we can go. I deleted a ton of log files, which you can do in-game while the world is running, and that actually took quite a bit of space out of the level, but still it's quite big, but very doable. Like I said, when it starts to become a problem, I'm not talking the slideshow issue, but where it'll run smooth and then it has to stop to buffer, then run smooth and stop, run smooth and stop. That's when problems occur. So we're in a winter biome, which is not the most fun and exciting thing. Yeah, so I'm in the quote-unquote recording studio, and I already don't remember because I kind of just wanted to get this going. That's why it has an echo to it, and you know that when we see villages and get to the laundromat phase, you will definitely know because you hear, laundry equipment, possibly other people. It was a rare moment in the last episode where nobody actually came to the laundromat while I was there. And we're looking for smithies. We've got enough of everything that we don't really need to go into the houses if they're just plain and boring. Oh, they got a cub. That means we gotta run. That didn't work. Oh, he's still coming. Eventually we'll lose it. Funny thing is, in one of my, in the world that I used to do on the phone, which then I used to do as Abandoned World, I came across and we can be moving, especially when there's a bear chasing us. Yeah, wrong button. Do the idiot jump, just to put some distance between me and the bear. Oh, this is actually kind of a smart thing to do if you want to go further faster, but it's not good on the food supply. But we got a bear chasing us. We probably are fine by now. I think I see one more section, so we'll go with it. And then you're just defeating the purpose at that point. Very, very rainy. You might even hear it in the background. No bear. Alright, we escaped. But in that world, I escaped it. Then all of a sudden I was getting attacked. Either somehow in a bug or whatever, it teleported. Or I just happened to stumble across off-screen another polar bear with another cub, and that was what was attacking me. With Bedrock, or Bug Rock as people call it, you never know. I also mentioned it's very rainy because you might be hearing that on the roof. The roof is literally just bare metal. And there's a membrane structure for the waterproofing above it. So there'll be 3 segments in this particular day. This is the early break, then the later break, and then the lunch period. And I don't know how many times we will be doing that again. Like I said, this could be a very long episode. On the plus side, that means we get further. And we can go. And how about in the boat? There we go. Line it up so we see where we're going. Escape it. Oh well, it's flatter land, that's the good thing. Tease, the river's closed off. Kind of a bit hilly, but it works. Still navigable. I don't like what I see ahead though. Besides these drops. We're talking mountains. We don't want to see mountains. Mountains mean slowness. See if we can get around it. And we missed something. There we go. Looks like we're not going to miss mountains. We're going to have to deal with them. Bad news, it slows us down. Yeah, we can keep going. Looks like there's an edge to it. While we're thinking about it, let's grab a bed. So I think the sky's starting to turn color. As the phone starts to get ever so slightly lukewarm, which means the performance goes to hell. Alright, I think we can grab the bed now and open enough and sleep it. Next day, we'll get roughly halfway through this Minecraft day before the first segment comes to an end. And then I'll have to pick it up in a couple hours. We can move. Not jump like an idiot, but move. Planes. Planes help. We like that. What I'm surprised is every village that had a smithy, almost none of them were real help. And then every time we went to the nether, as I almost fall into a cavernous lake, every time we went to the nether, it was very unproductive. I think we barely made gains last time, and the first time, almost none. Yeah, we'll go this way. I know it's more resistance, but we gotta try and keep the path as straight as we can when we can. Unless there's a ravine that just causes us to go a completely different direction, and we need to carefully navigate this. It's not a big loss, but oh, no. We can't slideshow this. There we go. Yeah, that was not a part we slideshow in, because then we would have fell. And double tap. Alright, not exactly where I want to be right now. Typically I wouldn't have a problem, but if the game cooperates a little bit, it's not a bad thing. Alright, eat some food. Of course, we just barely missed the water. Alright, this is turning into a challenge that we don't really need. So I'm going to pause right here. In fact, we'll move ever so slightly. This way we can move the player. I think we have a gap we can go into. Yeah, there's a gap. And we can move the player. Oh yeah, we're definitely in a sizable gap. You know what? We could probably use another dirt block. Alright. Actually, no, it's open enough. I was going to stop because we were in a place where we'd probably be enclosed again, and we're actually doing okay right now. A little more this way, because it's easier. Now this is the easy path. The other way was pretty easy too. Alright, now I will have to say that we have reached a point. So what I'm going to do is once we clear these trees, I'm going to stop for now and clear the trees and continue from here next break. And we're back. The second segment of 3, because it's supposed to be crap all day. And like I said, I'm not sure if before I hit the laundromat next week that there may be a few more days where it sucks, and it's going to be a very long video. So the longer the better, because we're that much further along. Anyway, time to boat. I think the boat's going a little too far the other way now. Just a hair. And now question is that an island or is it land? Looks like an island. Let's go right by that. Like I said, the only good thing about this is that we get to move faster. Not much more to say really, but boat and see where we go. Be interesting to see something else up here. Well, like I said, the only good thing about it, and there's the sun. Yeah, we're going to need to do a turnaround. Head for this island here. And sleep the night off so that we don't lose any forward progress. And there's a chance if we found land while it was dark that it would be monster ridden and we would have issues trying to try to make try to be safe, pretty much. Trying to say is I can't do two things at once. We're getting low in the bed department again, so we'll put a white one here. We can place the white bed. We can. Oh, I could not see that. Let's try this again. Oh, they put it here now. There we go. Ice over there. Sun setting over there. Sun about to touch the horizon. Therefore, we can now sleep. Yeah. And we're ready to go. Time for some more boating fun. So hard to get this to go relatively straight with the controls that one are given. this is where we last saw land and turned around. So, was it a good decision, or was there something ahead we could have? Could we have? Land's getting a little higher. Yep, way on the left there. But, you know what? We guaranteed safety. And we get to see a neat looking ocean. All the coral and the sea pickles that in the world of Minecraft light up the world slightly. Maybe a shipwreck or two, which we have come across a few times. Again, it goes against our main objective, and it does not have the stuff we need to ensure a faster approach to hopefully a goal. See, if we went this far, it would be dark, there'd be monsters, we couldn't sleep, and if we died, we'd lose a lot of progress. Straight enough. With the 4-chunk simulation distance, only about 64 blocks from either side of us is getting generated and stored. The rest of it is just world generation that's not getting saved at all. Because if we came back with a different version, chances are the world might be a bit different in those spots. So the only good thing about this right now is that the scenery, the scenery is dull, but at least and I think we're about to hit land. Yep. I think there's a way around it. What is there? I guess there is. Iceberg land. Yeah, we'll just take it. Alright. This may be a very short land trip. Now we go from a extremely cold to extremely hot, which makes perfect sense. A hot desert next to a cold iceberg. For a minute I thought I saw a structure. So, nope. And randomly whack at stuff. Boat again. Sometimes it makes me a little nervous about boating because if we reach a time that I have to pause, then what if we're in the middle of the ocean and the sun comes down? That would revert yet again. Small bit of reverting that we had to have done. Okay, we got solid land there, but is it all the way or an island? Looks like it's an island. So it might be strafing that one. Kind of close to call. Are we going to strafe or are we going to hit? That's about as close as a strafe that you can possibly get. Now we got land on the right. So if the sun were to come back down, I don't think there's enough time in my break that well. Now keep in mind there's land over behind us. Shallow enough, I could just fill her up with some dirt and make a 2-block wide platform that I could put a bed on. But, oh, speaking of the sun, there it is, but I see land. A lot of land coming in. And a village. Hey, perfect. What I'll probably do is look around, and after that, call it good. Let's move the player. Let's move the player. We're not breaking doors, we're moving players. Nothing here. I never remember what these buildings have or don't have. Take that one. Alright, we're gonna wake you up. Yeah, it doesn't seem this really is a place that's got a lot of fun and excitement going on. And not destroy that bed. Is that that's kind of important to us. I think we've been here. No, we haven't. Alright, we can go in. Don't have to do that. Alrighty. Am I heading the right way? Yes, I am. But we still got a little more village to kind of look at. And we can break. We can break. Alright, so as the bar on the left is showing us, it's kind of time to call it a session. So next time it'll be during lunch, and looks like we're going to be boating. And we're back for the first lunch break, because I'm saying first because apparently most of next week, and well, let me explain. Typically I do my laundries on Friday, but I did it yesterday, which would be Thursday, because of the storm that's going on outside, and I did not want to deal with what they were thinking was going to be quite a bit of rain. But it turned into a snowstorm. So that's definitely good, because then I would not be allowed to park at the laundromat because it's street parking. So it was a good thing I did it. So I'm actually starting the next episode on a Friday. And I guess the first break during Saturday is not going to be all that great either. Possibly the one after that. And then supposedly it's going to be a kind of a blah week. So this may be a very long episode, but a lot of distance covered. We are not sure on that yet. This looks like it might be an island. Yeah, going a bit out of our way, but if we can get across, you know what? I'm just wasting time. It would be easier to break the boat, run across, place the boat down again. So I just lost a bit of time thinking, oh, this will be a quick get around, and it isn't. Not even close. Ever so slowly correcting. Yeah, we lost time there. Should hit 150 no problem. If we don't, something's gone horribly wrong. Mountains are death, one or the other. So again, another exciting trip in the ocean. And like I said, the only good thing is it's one of the fastest ways to gain distance. Of course, the best way is to have a section of nether that's somewhat long enough that I can actually traverse. And then we could really make distance. Exciting. Fortunately, we get little islands here and there, so if our friend the sun decides to make an appearance, we can switch back and set a point. But of course, we would like to do better than that, and of course, reverse, because we don't really want that. Less than 1,000 from 150. Alright, we got a little gap that we can definitely traverse. Let's see if we can actually get somewhere. Maybe a small gap that's doable over here. I know I see the wide opening over there, but it actually isn't as wide as it looks. It's just by perspective will it look big. And it's growing. Why not? Yeah, that would have hurt, but it wouldn't have been too bad. Except trying to get out. And you can definitely hear my the soles of my shoes every now and then as I reposition my feet. Because standing in, perfectly still, being older, it's not exactly fun. You start to feel it, so you move around a little bit. Not constantly, but enough to, subdue the pain to some degree. We got some planes over here. And the beds that we ransacked in the village are going to come in handy. And speaking of village, there's one right there. Maybe we can sleep in one of theirs again. Let's see, let's position that there. We got plenty of material to make more. We got plenty of material. We'll zigzag so we don't have to jump. Save a little energy. And here we are. I'm also trying to talk over people because we don't want to. Okay, we got a bed over here we can probably sleep in. Well, grab the emerald. What good is it going to do us? We don't know. Look around. See if we see a smithy anywhere. Can we move? Alright, it's starting to get a little dark, so eat the food. Alright, okay, we can't sleep. Oh, so there's the one. Yeah, we can move forward. Okay, nope. A Smith Buildings. I don't think that's a Smith building. In fact, that may not be one. Alright, let's just head off. That turns into mountains. We don't want mountains. Mountains bad. Easy terrain, good. Less than 100 to go. Then 70, 60, 50, the 40, smack, 30 with a little slowdown, 20, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 150K right here. This block. Yeah, still no proof of, still no error, which, like I said, I'm not 100% sure where it is. There was a video showing where, and I could never find it. And do we have another village? Yes, we do. Randomly whacking things, because no control. I don't know if I jumped a ravine or a small ditch. Either way, we passed it, and either way, I'm not going to go and look to find out. This village sprawls a little bit. Again, we are looking for smithies, where we might find things we could use. That was not what I wanted. And now that I hit him, the golem is going to be after me. So we kind of have to split. Because the control is so good in this. It made a little too much forward progress to settle for getting killed by an iron golem. I do not like that there's been a lot of lateral movement, which, as I say, adds file size and delays our ultimate approach. And we try to keep that z-axis number low, simply because as we do, there's less terrain being generated in that direction, therefore reducing the size of the file, reducing the load on the phone, and possible future phone, which, so once things calm down, okay, we can now move. Why does everything have to be a project now? Well, I was trying to move one way, but it didn't matter. Alrighty. So here we go. I'm just making small talk. I don't think we have a way out of this. Do we? Do we have a way out of this? It looks like we do. because that's what we were looking at. Now we go up this, and I make, like I said, making small talk because there's conversation going on that this is probably picking up, and I don't want to get on video. Eat some food, and up we go. And away we go, whacking randomly at things. Nice jump, hence why nothing happened. Alrighty. Way too much laterals. Is that a village? On this tiny screen, it's hard to tell. Yep, there it is. It's a village. Watching this on a big monitor, you probably would have said, yeah, of course it is. On a 5-inch screen, you don't really know till there's enough detail to see it. Again, we're looking for the smithies. So we are hoping to find a smithy or, I don't know. Alright, we haven't had to use a bed in a while. So this is why I don't want you randomly whacking the sword. I don't care about maps because we're just trying to get from point A to point B, and B is far, far, far away. More emeralds. Never really figured out what I'm going to do with them yet. More food. That can go in there. We don't need that. We probably will be needing a bed. I swear smithies are not anything that they really give you in this game. Of course, ruined portals help too. Those are the big help. Because I can knock off some of the blocks, and then we can make a portal. Then we can get a slice of the nether that's nearly difficult or impossible to traverse and barely make progress, because so far both times we did that, that's exactly what happened. Here comes the sun. That means another day. And stopped in time. I couldn't blame the phone there. Now we can run. Running means faster. And oh yeah, why not? Why not put a giant cliff in there? Okay, we can stop slideshowing and start moving. Alright, I jumped over a pit, which fortunately was successful. I'm not sure that it was a deep one, but it would be enough. That was an early jump. That would have been bad. Alrighty, so we're getting close to a point. Oh, right here. Randomly whack some rabbits around. Half drumstick short, but we kind of needed to sleep that off. It's the one thing about the during the lunchtime in the quote-unquote recording studio is listening to the vacuum in the next room over. Lava and snow. Perfect. Tell you the amount of data that was in the log files that I deleted, which was after recording the previous episode. What we've done in these 3 segments, pretty much alone in map generation, makes up for the log that was deleted, which is a good thing because that's another 20,000 blocks we've went without issue. I'm looking at how this works. I'm hoping that I can delete old stuff and keep the new stuff and everything will work. As I know in the land of the Java it did, and I think we got another one of these ruined portals. And we can X, then try to find a way up. How many pieces do we have? 12. How many pieces are available? More than enough. The only thing that sucks is how long it takes to do it. We're not going to go out of our way to get these. We're just getting what we can. It takes forever. I think it's like 10 seconds a block with a unenchanted axe. And I just moved my finger. I'm not sure if that meant good or bad. Alright, so it's just high enough. How many do we have now? 21. Let's make it 22. Nice to have some spares. Alright, so it's not going to happen in today's segment. And like I said, today I'm just simply defining as the particular segments. What we will do is, hey, purple for nether, and this can go away, and we go like this so we avoid it and leave it behind forever. So the next time we sleep, and I might be, that won't happen at the end of today. So Saturday is another wonderful work day, and I think in the very very first break in the morning, the weather's supposed to be crap, so start another segment. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure how many days next week are going to be bad. If what I've read is true, there's going to be a lot of them, and this is going to be a very long episode. I've seen other people do similar runs, although to the original Farlands. And we're using any legitimate means necessary to get to the end. And of course, if we can get a piece of the nether that's fairly long, we can really make some progress. Went a hair too long. Like I said, it's gonna be a very short stint where when I come back to this episode another day, that we're going to run, gain a few more blocks of distance, and set up another attempt at the nether, hoping that we actually get somewhere. The one good thing even getting nowhere does in the nether is that it's saving file space in the overworld. So, I mean, it does something. So that being said, it's getting a bit late, and lunch breaks are timed. Yeah, the regular breaks, they say, you're a minute or two, no big deal. Lunch is literally to the minute. So we're just going to get to this little clearing spot right here as we're walking and not moving. Okay, over here. We can move the player, we can move the player, we can move the player. Hey, there we go, moving the player. Interesting. Yeah. Right about here, we'll call it good and pick it up next time. Yep, this is going to be a long one. Although I forgot to check if the work week is going to be lousy. I know the day that I normally end this video in terms of the recording process was actually the day that we started. So that puts a little bit of a wrinkle into the formula a little bit. And we start with a sun setting. Not that big of a deal. And we're not really moving too far off course. I like to try to keep the z-axis under 1,000. As I've said ad nauseum, the more we keep on the straight and narrow and just keep moving west, the smaller the files get. I mean, as we're going, of course, it's getting bigger and bigger because we're always generating material, but it's not as much as I thought I saw a village. It's not as much as it could be if we're zigzagging all over the place everywhere we can. Buck 53, we're not going to get too far today. There's only one break and a lunch period, because I used the first break to set myself up for, I could use a few of these blocks. And we can go up and grab a purple bed and sleep. Now we got 10 full minutes of trying to get somewhere. And let's move that and that and go. That's one thing that's not good about doing this is that if I decide to live stream my bowling, this phone will be slightly warm, which means it won't work right. Or it'll just flat out refuse and stutter and quit. Then I have to coax it back to working again. But on the other side, oddly enough, if that happens, and there's a big dip right there, that ultimately, I don't know why, but ultimately it'll behave again. Albeit not perfectly, but it will. So on this Saturday, I'm actually recording this inside, being that the place is pretty much empty on Saturdays. It's being recorded this time in the big conference room. We used to have a bunch of little ones, but due to the way things are at this time and place, literally everywhere in the world, most of the small conference rooms have been converted into offices, so everybody's spread out. So the one big conference room remains. And there are 10 seats at the table, and I'm at one of the heads. Because, hey, why not? Let's record what might be a very long video of trying to get somewhere that we might not be able to get to. But see how far we can get, and hopefully at the very least not fall into a ravine and at least get far enough to see the math errors start to happen. At last check, we can go about 8.3 million blocks before we have to worry about falling through the world. And we're quite a ways from that. Like I said, I'm hoping I can delete stuff as we go along when things get a little too large. This is turning into a project again. Jump. Yeah, nice jump. That's why nothing happened. Fortunately, it was very narrow, and there was a spot that worked out. And I saw that coming, so I swerved violently, and it worked. What went wrong there? And this is a drop. That's why we strafed over, and okay, we need to be running. Running makes things move faster. Did we jump over a fairly sizable drop? It's a wonderful semi-annual time of the year, which of course try to keep as quiet as possible because everyone will assume that it's the COVIDs. And my throat is a little in and out when it comes to talking. I'm a little irritated, but it always gets like that this time of year. So, I wonder how far where we're going to get 154, maybe 155 before we have to quit this segment and then do the lunch segment. Saturday lunch segment, because the last lunch segment was Friday. I gotta look again. I think maybe the weather forecast changed a little bit for the better in terms of being able to enjoy the day and not be cooped up in a closet or on a Saturday in the conference room making this stuff, which honestly I don't mind. It's just that I'm giving up exercise and I don't like that. Now we're starting to get into strange little pillar territory. Could be just pure coincidence. Oh, I also forgot that this was kind of the time to start laying down another portal because we have more than enough stuff that we can do that. What I'm going to do is when we get to that point is, I wish I knew how to split my inventory. I know it's possible. I've been able to successfully do it once before, but not really meant to work that way in the not exactly meant to work that way in the touch screen. It is doable, it's just I sure can't seem to get it to work very well. The terrain really starts getting interesting. Very little wind to make the walls creak here. I mean, very little. I'm looking outside and the trees are barely even moving. Literally, I can see a twig move. It's going to be too late for this segment. I might even end this segment slightly early, because we are going to be due for another sleep. We're due for another sleep before this break is over. And if I recall, move. Oh, this is crap. Yeah, I could, now that I'm bought it way too late, I could be killing these animals for backup food, just in case we don't, things don't go well, and we can cook this stuff up. How are we doing with wood? Very poorly. We can X. starting to get dark, so what I'm going to do is bed here, this here. Right. Make more of these here. Yep, we can do that. Chest here. Place. And raw food. A bed. A bed. Yep, pressing buttons. Sleep tonight. What it'll do is we do have time to build the portal. We'll build the portal. In fact, we have a nice little spot right here. We can do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to press a button, and we're going to react to pressing that button. I'm going to put another bed here. Move this, move that. Grab this, light it, and when we come back with a color sign, we're going to go through and maybe this time actually make any progress. Worst case scenario, we'll be saving file space. See you on the other side. Alrighty, it's the launch segment, and before we go, we need to do our little changeover. So, just in case, although I'm sure we're just going to wind up in a hill again, let's see where we wind up. How about Red Tree Land? That's there. We get to see where it's going. It's open at least, but of course it has to be a crap world. Yay. How did I know? And there's no way to get down there safely. Let's run here. Alright, and that's about as far as I'm willing. Yeah, we can move the player. Yeah, that's about as far over as we can go. We would just spawn in a place that busy. We just keep getting spawned in garbage. Keep an eye on the ground. It's not going to fall. We left a couple small things to get us through if we were to die and fall. Yep, we can break. And we can break. Nice. Yeah, we can break. Another anticlimactic thing here, because how else would it go? are in the other direction anyway. This will bring us a little closer to 0. Let me try to keep it under 200 in terms of side drift. And grab. And of course, that's how it always works. Yet again, completely freaking wasted. Yeah, we can put it there. Of course, but there we go. Well, it was a good thing in that case. Absolutely nowhere. And no, as I looked over, that isn't really all that promising up there either. So, made some gains. That's about it. Now we gotta wait and see where we barely made it to. There have been instances where I had to shut the game down and bring it back up again in order for it to work. I hear the portal. Now it's just a matter of seeing it. There we go. Well, yet again, completely pointless. And before we keep going, we're going to go this way, get rid of that. Switch that out, because we don't need that for now. We can get rid of that. A little delay in the splashing sound effect. Boy, that really got us far. Like everything else, it seems no matter where we go, we're in the same exact biome every single time. And now they're shoving mountains in my face. And I believe I was going the wrong way for a little bit. Yeah, we don't want that. You have to take a little hit there. We can move the player. That's even better. And another hit. Yeah, we went a little too far in a direction we weren't really trying to go, and of course we got a tree in the way. And we can go this way, and we can do a little bit of a thing that I don't like doing, and that's the lateral move. We can climb, and we can go. And we're being stopped by something. That time I could see what we were stopped by. Couldn't see the first one. We need a village. Although, like I said, we do still have a little bit in the woolen wood department that we can just make the stuff. And did we yet again abandon? Okay, let's just do this quick. Yeah, we once again abandoned another table. We didn't need to do that. I know I saw that way. There was a opening in an ocean, but we also want to, as I've been saying, stay close to zero on the Z. Not too far north, not too far south. Ravine. We could use a village at this point. We can steal quite a few beds. Smithies, broken nether portals, that kind of stuff. Weather now says I think they said there's probably just going to be one day that might be bad next week, so maybe there might be a day that I'm going to be doing this again during work in the quote-unquote recording studio. But then again, the next time you might see this, the next segment, it might be the laundromat. Which means you know the end is pretty much near. There's like about a little more than an hour, 10 minutes of content at that point. Get it to at least 157, maybe 158. Oh, these walls creak over nothing. Just gotta remember next time when we when we come across animals, kill them. And leave a little bit of food so that we can continue the journey if we were to die. Especially in a place where it may be pretty much impossible to regain everything we lost in the nether. Run fast. Bit of a dense forest here. Very hard to get through. Seems it just wants me to keep going in a direction I can't really go in. Of course. One away. As always. of an express progress maker here. Something wonderful here. Okay, as soon as I'm about to ask that question, there's something right there on the right. And if nothing else appears after that, we have at least a turnaround point, which progress will be made, and looks like we won't be needing it. And we get a bunch of islands, which will enhance our ability for a safe trip. And here we go with sputtering, barely working. As we keep going, the land's just filling in, so yeah, right here would be about right. Looks like it's a big island. You can go. Yeah, 158 at least. Question is this land here an island, or is it much more complicated? Okay, we want to see what we've got. Okay, we got some stuff to get rid of, like this. This, we break it down, and we can break it down. Why did we stop? We had the finger on there the whole time. It's refusing to break. And there we go. we're doing all right. All right, just a little bit premature on that, but it's not going to hurt. Waiting for the sun to set, and bed. Now the question is, iron or iron mass? It's turning into rock. Yeah, it's turning into a red mass. This isn't an island. Maybe we are getting into some kind of error. Not the kind that I was expecting. Alright, I thought that was a drop, but it was just one block, not a big deal. And we're not running, and we're not running. Running goes faster. Faster equals better. There's our point where we get to see something. You know, we're about halfway through this day, so yeah, maybe about that time we'll just call it good, pick it up the next segment, which doesn't want to run. Yeah, once we get across this piece of ocean, we're just going to call this particular segment good. And it is about halfway through the day, which is approximately where I think we would be stopping. just short of 160. 159, 130-ish. There we go. Not that bad. We'll pick it up next time. Laundromat or another rainy day? We'll find out. Well, here we are, the laundromat phase. I also forgot to turn on the airplane mode, but we are in it right now. If things hold up decently, and no, I did not ask for the sidebar. And if things hold up decently, we'll keep going till the dryer phase, then stick it into airplane mode. So the 2 times we used the nether was a complete and total utter waste. Kind of how it usually works. And we don't really need to use the boat because I just love this little, I'm sure it's a bug in Bedrock, is that if you are sprinting when you go into the water, you maintain the sprint speed more or less. Not 100%, but you kind of almost get that Depth Strider 3 effect without the Depth Strider 3 or Depth Strider of any kind. And there's some numbnut going up and down the street on their bike going probably literally 70, 80 miles an hour. I'm not exaggerating. So I watch people, they generally go about 35, 40 on this street. And he's going significant multiple of that. And speaking of significant multiples, and we can move. We can move. All right, let's just go over here. This guy seriously needs to crash out. And I won't feel bad for him either. Because on my way into the laundromat, this guy was literally weaving in and out of the street. Alright, let's see if we can actually make some progress. Alright, this is not really running. Okay, we need to be working. Let's try working. Let's try working. Let's try working. Yeah, that way, the way I was pointing. Amazing thought. All right, this is what's going to happen. It's not working. It's being slow and stupid. So I'm going to, yeah, I got to take care of other things as well that just cropped up. So we're going to sleep, and we'll be back. All right. Yeah, something came up all of a sudden. So slept the night. Then I put the thing in airplane mode. So of course now it's running better. And of course there's only a handful of minutes left on the washer, so not much really happened in this span of time. So we're going to have to rely on the dryer cycle to make our big push. We're at $1.60 and we're struggling. Struggling to move. So now we have to have terrain that doesn't cooperate in the least bit. So yeah, once again, just throw the thing into throw it in airplane mode and things run great again. Of course it won't be perfect, it's still going to sputter and stutter, but nowhere near as bad as it did. Given the conditions of where I'm going, that did not go all that bad. Once again, I think it might be time for some diligence. Bread supply is getting low, although we got plenty of food after that, so that's not much of a problem. Go here, because of course that has to be the case. Well, you know what? Sandbar was a little less tall. Yeah, if that makes any sense. Going in that direction anyway. Of course that had to happen. We can run. We can run. So see how, if we can stretch it out a few extra seconds. Usually stop it like a couple minutes before the washer is done. I'm going to see if I can stretch it out to just before. We need a bed. That needs to go over there. Beds go over here. Running happens. Is there a point we can start moving? Whoa, whoa. We've had quite a bit of terrain that actually did cooperate, so now getting exact, complete, and total utter refusal just happens to make sense. And speaking of, the washer is done. We need to turn. And we're slide showing exactly where we don't need slide showing. Alright, so we'll stop right here. Come back for the dryer mode. We're in the dryer phase. Hopefully this will go uninterrupted. That there's no surprises along the way that forces me to stop and come back much later and pretty much lose about a half hour's worth of work. Anyway, so once again we are in the land of the unforgiving, shall we say. Non-forgiving, that's kind of true. Now we need to go up this way and this way. There we go. There we go. Up the... Of course we didn't go up because that would be wrong. Not exactly right, but there we go. Half drumstick, 2.5. Perfect number. That refills, and it also alleviates a little bit of the health that was lost. And now we could start looking for villages and stealing beds. That would be something we could use. As eventually, at the current state, we may run out, and that's kind of a problem. Is there a moment that we can start moving? And it doesn't seem there's a way to move that way. Of course, we hit giant mountains. And we can move the player instead of just stumbling. Yeah, we can, how about break? Break is a better answer. Okay, I don't like where we're going. Okay, you know what? We're going to go up here, where it's a little safer. Might be a half drumstick premature, but we'll take it. And we can X. When we hit the X, it means X. Funny idea. very uncooperative right now. Very, very uncooperative. Where are the planes at? Where are the villages? We could use some of that now. Fortunately, we have food to kind of help with that. Of course we have, and we're not asking for that bar. We're asking for movement. And of course we have the slideshow. Now let's move. This is by far the slowest progression we've made in a while. Hitting. Have we finally hit some somewhat flatter land so we can make some movement? And not much really to say is outside of very uncooperative terrain here. A game that doesn't believe running is all that important, and no villages anywhere in sight as we're running low on supplies. Food we're good for a little bit longer. No broken nether portals to steal obsidian from. I mean, the terrain's not the best at this point, but it's definitely maneuverable. Alright, we didn't need to go there, so of course there had to be a steep drop there. Of course we had to go anywhere but where we were pointing. And we can brake. Let's brake. Brake. There we go. Movement. That's what we like. You know, we're not going to bother chasing it. Oh, I actually made that. And we're just randomly whacking at things as we slideshow through here. Okay, we can move. For a minute I thought I saw lava, and well, that would have been bad, especially since it would probably have slideshowed to a slow crawl of a stop and die swimming in it. You know, it'd be nice is some terrain that we can actually navigate. That was not the brightest of moves. Well, minor loss there. Yeah, we can jump. And we can brake. You know, perhaps when I'm pressing the brake button, it might mean to break things. We're not going to spend too much time breaking down that kind of stuff. And turn. So of course this has to be a cavern. And of course we had to do that because it... Hey, why should something go the right way at this point? That would be kind of a stretch. Although at this point, we can just get to where we're going. Yep, we can climb. So this is what we want to do. I know it's going to be complicated. And we can turn. And we can put the boat in the water. And then we wait for the time to sleep. Time for another bread. Okay, you did eat it. I didn't know if it was slideshowing through the animation and not doing anything. The game's good at doing that sometimes. 163, boy did progress come to a halt almost. Thing is, we gotta wait for the sun to set. While we do that, let's just this. And I'm going to put this here, and put this there. Then we can take this and put it there. No, that's not correct answer. That will be better. We X. And now we see the horizon about to touch the ground and sleep. Next day. Well, if it's boring as anything, but gives you the best in terms of forward momentum, it's boating in the ocean. Of course, it has to be mountains. It cannot be something simple and flat. Then again, we kind of got a lot of that. Now we're getting a lot of what we don't care to see. You got 2 mushroom biomes through this whole series so far. And there will not be a way around this, as it might have looked like there was, but in reality there wasn't. Little easier over here. Yeah, we can brake. There you go. Brake the boat. And where is the boat? There it is. This belongs like that. Okay, we can move the player. Find a smithy just so that we have new armor. I mean, we've got iron to make whole new armor if we need to. Exactly what we don't want. At least we can get by the mountains. There we go, ever so slightly heading back towards 0, although 84 isn't terribly far off. Yeah, typically I do these Friday afternoon, but it's Saturday night. And I have mentioned something that I've learned from previous mistakes. It seems rather silly, but it makes sense when you really think about it, is never go to the laundromat on very windy days. Of course, you could probably lose your clothing in the wind, but the problem actually is that if you get a power interruption, you could lose quite a bit of money in those machines. I've lost $3 when the power blipped, and at the time that was quite a bit of money that I really couldn't afford to part with, but I had to. So as silly as it might sound, the reason being is that in some instances you lose all your money if the power blips or goes out completely. If it goes out completely, then you're really inconvenienced time-wise, which just isn't worth it. Unless it's the only day you really have to do it. So, yeah, skipped Friday because weather wasn't the best. Flatter terrain, we like that. But are they islands or is it terrain? Alright, it was just a bunch of terrain we could simply go around. You can see the ocean's not exactly generating very well. Definitely making up for lost time. We will never truly make up the time we lost for having to take care of things that suddenly arose and needed my immediate attention. Glitched ocean. What do we have here? Well, we got terrain. Bang. Nope. Nope. Now we need to. Alright, we got our boat. We can now swim. We can now not slideshow. And randomly whack at things. see. I think we can just get to the other side of this body of water right there. Good. Let's not do what I asked. That would be too difficult. Alright, let's move. Let's move. Buck 66. And over to the left we see larger terrain, which we don't want, because that definitely is going to hinder things. Right now I'm trying to synchronize my watch with the dryer because I'm sitting where I can't really see it, so I want to know what time it is, that so I can go to the dryer and take care of getting my stuff out, folded, head home, call it a day. It's also why I'm not very talkative right now, is I'm just dead tired. Been up pretty much since around 1:30 in the morning, and it is now 9:11 in the evening. So it's almost been 20 hours. Okay, we can actually move the player. Double tap means going fast, not saunter, fast. Fast is what we want. That's how we make bigger distance, by going faster. Faster. I like how it makes the assumption I want to whack stuff. Oh, village. We need one of those. Getting low in the food department, getting a little low on the bed department, although I think making quite a few of them we should be fine. walking a certain way because I wanted to see if if any math errors were. Okay, we're not jumping now. We're moving the player. And I did not ask for a torch to be placed. I asked for moving the player. Move the player. And you can move the player. The player needs to be moving. Okay, this was a waste of time. I thought we had another piece of bread. You made me waste my time on stealing another bed. And we can move. Something new. Try it. Try moving the player. Oh, what's this? Nothing. I don't ever recall seeing such a thing. Well, we can exit. Okay, no, we don't want to go that direction. Okay, one of these directions is... There we go. One of these directions is moving in the right way. That helps. Who knows, we might be needing that. Let's check that again. And is there a point that we can start moving? All right, 167. Well, we were making good progress, and we're not moving the player. We're stalling. We're not moving. I don't want stalling. I want moving. And the sun's about to set again. What am I looking at? There it is. Good, we can get some forward momentum going. And another village, but it's way in the mountains, so if it's not a smithy, I don't care. And we can move the player. Why are we not running when we ask for run? Okay, we're not asking for bread, we're asking for move. We're not asking for bread, we are asking for move. We're pushing doors. Now we're moving into a building. We will not take this bed. We've learned that lesson before. Okay, we can move the player. Let's move the player. The player needs to be moving. I like it when the player starts moving. And there's nothing in here. Okay, we can stop slideshowing. Alright, I can't really tell, and there isn't a lot of time left in the day, so and up. And we keep on going. And double tap means run. And broken portal. We can move the player. I like moving the player. That means we do our job, and that's to move the player so we can get going to where we're going. I hate how slow these break, but that's how it works sometimes. Anyway, wow. Alright, no. What just happened? Okay, you can go away. And everything else is actually useful. Well, not really. Yeah, we can X. What's the number? We have 5. We can break. So we don't have too much time left. Oh, the fun, the joy, the excitement. I'm not interested in going much further with that one. Yeah, so we'll just grab these 3 and we call it good, because everything else is in lava, and that's no good. and the rest is suspended over lava, so that we can move the player. We're not heading in the right direction. Now we are. Yeah, the rest is a little too risky to get. How many do we have? We got 12. We need 8 more pieces at the least. And then we can try another pointless run through the nether, which probably will be digging your way through and to find out that we end up in a cliff and we are slide showing. We don't like slide showing. It means you're not working. I'd like to do is at least find at the least the very first point where math errors happen, and I cannot remember at what point that does start. I know that we shouldn't run into any real limitations just beforehand, and of course everything has to be mountains. And we aren't moving. We aren't moving. Why are we not moving? Players gotta move. Alright, I see ways that go up, but I want to see if this does the same thing, or we just screwed ourselves. One or the other. Probably the latter. Alright, I see a way, but is it enough? Okay, we can run. Okay, how about moving? No, we're not ducking, we're moving now. Alright, so it looks like we are about to... It's almost time for the dryer to end. You can move. So let's put a bed right here and the boat right here. We're at 160, almost 168. And that'll be this adventure of One Way, where I still believe we are still not far enough away to pick up a math error, which, well, it is what it is. The dryer is getting pretty close to done, so there's no real point of continuing it this week. So we'll pretty much just call it 168. This is George F551 saying hope you enjoyed and have a good one, and we will pick it up just before the sun hits the horizon,